Hello, everyone. This is Shana Sultana. I'm the Chief Consultant and CEO of Fence Alliance Risk Advisory based in Bangladesh. And with me, I have Tom Burnside, based in the US, who has 40 years of practical day-to-day experience with complex banking crimes, including global face-to-face meetings with about 400 peer banks in their own countries. Prior to moving into banking in 1990, he was a practicing attorney for 20 plus years in both private legal practice and as a senior attorney with the US government. His experience with financial crimes risk includes correspondent banking, commercial banking, SAR investigations and reporting, financial intelligence, and also transaction-centric data analytics. Um, as with me, I've been with the banking industry. I started my career with American Express, and then I joined Wells Fargo, and now I'm heading my consultancy and risk advisory. And I'm really happy to reconnect with Tom, and this gives me another opportunity to just work with him, and I'm so excited about that. So that was on the introduction about ourselves. And if I could little bit now move over to the presentation. So today we will be covering a very famous cybercrime case that's, Rizal Commercial Bank Corporation based in Philippines and the Central Bank of Bangladesh, Bangladesh Bank. I'm sure that most of our audience have heard about it at one point in time. And then, you've seen it probably in different ways, covering in the news media or internet, YouTube. I'm sure that this is going to be a little bit different from what all you've seen. Tom, if you would like to say anything before we move over to your slides.
Well, thank you very much for the very kind introduction. I am really looking forward to talking about this case because, in many ways, it shows how AML programs are really one of the key defenses for cybercrime itself. As we'll discuss in this case study, in this case, it was the North Koreans, but it could be any cyber crime ring. The easy part for them is to get the cyber penetration. The much tougher part of their crime is to try to get the cash out of the financial system or where they want. So, in many ways, this presentation is showing how cybercrime is, in fact, a true AML issue, and that the major line of defenses against cybercrime actually rest with bank AML programs. And the other thing is, this is an instance in which it's an ongoing fraud, and the receiving bank, the bank that's receiving the money, needs to make very, very quick and decisive decisions as opposed to maybe the more traditional AML where you have several months to work through the cases. So we'll go through that in a great amount of detail. But I do want to emphasize the most important portion of this presentation is in order to really stop the cyber criminals, banks around the world need to have a very, very strong AML decisioning process, and they need to make the right decisions.
So true and well said.
So we entitled this study as the Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation case, Philippines. Originally, we were talking about it as from the Bangladesh side, but as we were developing the materials, we realized that that title really is misleading. It really is the story of the Philippines cash out, not the cyber intrusion in Bangladesh. So even the title itself reflects the core theme. This case study really looks at the prominent failure of a AML program in the Philippines, which is the way that Rizal Bank processed $81 million in cybercrime proceeds coming from the Bank of Bangladesh, or Bangladesh Bank. Then it was stolen by the North Koreans from their Federal Reserve account at in New York. The main story, as we've discussed earlier, is the cash out, because as we previously mentioned, the big issue is how, once a computer network has been compromised, how do you translate, the compromised computer system into actually getting tens of millions of dollars into the hands of the criminal? As we'll see in this case study, the North Koreans were very, very successful with many, many banks and many, many other commercial entities at compromising computer systems. But in virtually all cases, with the exception of this case and a few others involving ATM networks, they were unsuccessful at translating the cybercrime into actual cash that they could use.